Hello, guys. Welcome to Conversations with Tessie. If this is your first time here, I really want to appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. And if you are a returning subscriber, know that I love you, I appreciate you, I honor you. God bless you. Thank you very much. Please, I want to encourage, especially if you're a first time, if this is your first time coming across this video, I encourage that you join the family by subscribing. Please subscribe, like, comment, share your thoughts on our video. What do you think? Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Tassim Toluwaloju. So going to today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that I feel like a lot of persons do not talk about, aside from psychologists, aside from therapists and people who really know the state. And this particular thing is something that affects a lot of persons that they don't know, especially persons who are coming up career wise, ambitious ladies who are starting to want to dream big and all of that. It affects them a lot, but they don't know that that's actually what's affecting them. So what can that thing be? And somebody's like, okay, this is enough for me. Thing. Name the thing. Let's know what it is. Okay, so guys, today I'm going to be talking about imposter syndrome. Rings a bell? Yeah. So that's what I'm going to be talking about. And I'll start by sharing my experience and the reason why I decided to talk about imposter syndrome in our video today. Um, so first and foremost, I had imposter syndrome and I didn't realize it. The first time I heard about imposter syndrome was in a movie, and I was like, "What's imposter syndrome?" And I had to start checking, start doing my research and everything. Like, the person was talking to the other person, like, and saying that I think that's imposter syndrome. And I was wondering, okay, so I just had to pause the movie and like, okay, so let's go do research about this thing. And I found out that I actually also have it, you know. So I'm the kind of person that um I sometimes I feel like I actually don't do this thing, even when I'm good at that particular skill. So it took me a while to actually start, talking about what I do, the fact that I'm a media practitioner, the fact that I'm a communication specialist, the fact that I can handle everything communications, developmental communications, advertising, branding and the likes. The fact that I can actually, do this job. I found it very, very difficult. I remember when I started voiceovers and all of my voiceover gigs, I usually do. I don't even post them. I don't talk about it. I just do them low key, aside from my dad's church. Yeah, so I usually voice our programs. And my dad will be like, this thing is very nice. It's looking like all of these adverts on television. And I'm like, okay, daddy. Like, well, I don't remember. I'm like, no, it does not look like it. Like, this is just I'm not even there yet. It's one thing for you to want to aspire to be more. It's another thing for you to feel like a fraud. Do you understand me? And that's what imposter syndrome means. Imposter syndrome makes you feel like a fraud. Makes you feel like you're not skilled enough. Makes you feel like you don't deserve all of the accomplishment. You don't deserve. I don't know. I don't know if you get like you don't deserve the praises. Even when people are saying that you are good, this is your strength. You don't see yourself in that way. Do you understand me? That's what imposter syndrome. That's the kind of feeling that you get with imposter syndrome. So I had it, and it's when I realized that I had imposter syndrome, I had to start, working on it. I had to consciously I start working on it and say that okay, person, I know that you still want to be more. I know that you are aspiring to be better at your skill, but this thing you're actually good with voiceovers. It means that you can accept that you are good with it and grow. Do you understand? Learn to be better and with times I trying to post my stuff out there, put myself out there, and when I do, I get beautiful comments from people like, "Oh, you're really doing well." Even till now, sometimes I still feel like, "Are you serious? Doing well?" I remember meeting someone recently. I was like, "Do you know I follow you on socials, like back to back, and I like what you are doing. You're really good. All of the appraisals and everything." And I was like, "Good, how?" Like, oh, please, I'm not so. This is not me that you are describing. Yeah, I know that sometimes you must try to, want to praise us and hype us, but this one was not like a hype. The person was actually sincere. So enough of the stories about me actually. So I was just trying to like give us a picture of what imposter syndrome looks like, and the fact that it's very important that you get over it, you work on it, so it does not, stop you from achieving, or from it does not stop you from getting into the light, into the limelight. Yes, imposter syndrome can actually stop you from getting to the limelight, because this is, you are really skilled at this work, but because you just feel like you're a fraud or you're not good enough, someone else is collecting the gig and the person is not even 50% as good as you are. Do you understand? Just because you have imposter syndrome. So I have something like down which I actually draft, and I'm going to basically like be using it because I wrote some of my points here. So first, I emphasize that imposter syndrome is a psychological thing, and it is a psychological feeling that makes you doubt your abilities and make you feel like a fraud, makes you feel fake, despite your success, your achievements, and everything. And I know that I'm able to establish that with the example I gave about myself. And one thing that imposter syndrome does is that it holds you back from self confidence. You're not confident enough in your abilities, So there are a lot of there are types of imposter syndrome. We have the perfectionist, we have the experts, we have the soloist, we have the natural genius, we have the super persons. So I'm going to be explaining this type of imposter syndrome, and you might just find yourself in one or two categories, and it's really going to help you, especially when you realize the type that you have and how you should work on yourself, or how to go about it. So first, I'm going to explain the perfectionist type of imposter syndrome. So the perfectionist type of imposter syndrome is one that believes that they have to be perfect. Now let me explain. They feel like the way others sees them as good, like you are really good. They feel like they have to be perfect, like absolutely perfect. And that's why when they make a little mistake, they are uncomfortable. They just feel like, oh, I flopped, everything is bad. Like they want 100 over 100. I used to be in this category. Like when I make mistake, I think one of the things that held me back from YouTube, or from shooting, or from putting my videos out there on YouTube, I had conversations with Tosin. I'd created a page and even done a video one time that I was going to start posting on YouTube and start talking about issues. But I didn't do it just because I was scared about my pronunciation, about the way I talk. First, as a Yoruba girl now, I had this H intuition, so, and I still have it, but it is what it is. So, I was really, really scared about it. And I wanted to, like, as I started working on it, and I was like, I was going to make sure that when I've gotten over it, or when I've gotten better with it, like, really better, I don't have that intuition, okay, I'll start YouTube videos. But it does not work like that. Like, just start it. Just do it. Just put it out there. With time, that's why there's room for, improvement. With time, you start improving. So the perfectionist imposter syndrome wants everything 100%, and when it's not 100%, they feel like a fraud. They feel like they have done nonsense. They feel like they are not good. They feel like this is rubbish. Do you understand? Secondly, the expert kind of imposter syndrome. So the expert type of imposter syndrome feels like if they don't know anything about something, about a particular subject, then they're not an expert. Yeah, I know that. Let's give an example of persons who are in the medical field, and we know that in medical field, every day there's always innovations. There's something, they're always discovering something, or maybe in sciences, there's always a discovery, and maybe they're an expert in that particular age area. They're an expert in sciences, and maybe they don't know something, like maybe a subject area. They feel like they're no longer an expert. Like, I'm no longer an expert in this field. I'm a fraud. They feel fake. They start doubting their abilities. Meanwhile, you are actually an expert. Maybe you don't just know this area, and it's fine for you not to know. So go and do your discovery. Know it. You are still an expert. You stay after knowledge. Do you understand? That's another category. The third category, or the third type of imposter syndrome, and natural genius. So yeah, is natural genius rather. So you see the set of people, they're naturally intelligent. Like they themselves, they know that they are naturally intelligent. They know that they are naturally endowed, like very intelligent. This set of people, they get things quickly, like he easily grabs things. And if they're finding it difficult to grab things, they feel like they're fraud. They feel like What's wrong with me? I'm no longer intelligent. Do you understand? They feel like an imposter. Do you understand? So they are naturally intelligent, but when they start having issues with, getting to know something, to learn something, which they naturally know, like their normal self realize that in minutes too, they've gotten the idea of this and they're working on it, but because they're finding it difficult at a particular stage, they feel like a fraud. Another set, the soloist. You see this set of people, they find it difficult to ask for help. And when they ask for help, they feel like a fraud. They feel like they are not good enough. Just by asking for help. Please. Who says that a man is an island? No, it's okay to ask for help. So you should not feel like an imposter when you're asking for help. Do you understand me? Don't feel like a fraud. You're still you, you're still good. You just need somebody to help you get to that path. That's not what I wrote down here, Shao, but I'm just trying to explain it for us to be better. But that it's the same thing, like, don't question your competency or ability because you're asking for help. It's okay. So persons who are soloists who have the type of imposter syndrome that is, soloists, they believe that if they ask for help, they're actually fake, like they feel like a fraud. Lastly, the super persons. This type of imposter syndrome, they behave like, they have all of the power. I have different powers, you know, different kind of powers. The ability shaker type of power. Please, I don't know what that is for. Guys, like they believe that they can handle everything on their own. They also like, okay, from here it says that they believe that they have the power to handle everything or reach the highest level of goal. So they feel like they have they have energy, they have the strength, and if they don't longer feel like that, or maybe they just feel weak at some point or something, they start doubting their abilities. Think that man no be firewood now. It's okay for you to be weak at some point. Yeah, it's actually okay. So you should not feel like an imposter if you're actually weak at a particular point. Quickly, I'm going to talk about how do you know that you have imposter syndrome. Yes, I've mentioned the types of imposter syndrome. I know that some of you are already beginning to like sense that do I have this? I think I have this. Yes, I have. Yes, you have it. As you have, yes, I have it. Yes, you have it. But now let me just give you a clear steps or maybe ways to know that you actually have imposter syndrome. And in our next video, we'll talk about how you can get over it. What are the things that you can do, how you can undo it, and all of that, and how I was also able to get over mine. So one is when you agonize over the smallest mistake, like you just made a mistake, nobody's a big mistake, but you will sleep on it, you will drown on it, you will hate yourself for it, you would make yourself feel like a trash just because of that mistake, that little mistake, like the littlest mistake. You have imposter syndrome. Yeah, feels like you have imposter syndrome. Secondly, is that when you try to, when you are overly sensitive to criticisms, and even if when it's a constructive criticism, you are overly sensitive, it gets to you, you're like, it might just be that you have imposter syndrome. Another one is when you downplay your own expertise. Just like myself, like I know that you are good with voiceovers, you're good with media. When it comes to media, I am good. But I'm like, no, no, I'm not where Mariah Brown is. I'm not where Mojibade Show is. I'm not where KK is, Cardio Kotionu is. So, why should I? No, no, no. You start giving the names that you know in various industries or persons that you envision, you admire so much in a particular industry, and auntie, calm down. Uncle, calm down. They started small. You too start small. Don't downplay your expertise. Do we understand? So when you start downplaying your expertise in a particular area, it might just be that you have imposter syndrome. Another thing is when you attribute your success to luck or an outside factor. You see this thing? Let me explain. Let me drop my notepad and explain it very well. When you, for instance, you did a particular thing, or you passed a particular, either a quiz or a debate, and it's something that you've actually read for, or you put in all of the efforts, but then you're not attributing it to maybe luck. Like, I was just so lucky. You weren't lucky. You worked for it over the time. You read for it. That's imposter syndrome, when you just feel like whatever you get is by luck. No, it's not by luck. You earn it. So it may just be that you have imposter syndrome whenever you attribute your success or your achievement to an outside factor. So this is why we'll give it a pause on today's episode on imposter syndrome. So imposter syndrome episode part one rather. So we're going to in the next part we're going to look at characteristics of imposter syndrome. We'll look at the causes of imposter syndrome, and then we'll also look at how can it be managed. Yes, how can I manage imposter syndrome? So that's what we're going to be looking at. I really would love that you watch out for the next part of imposter syndrome, and please ask me your questions. What do you think about this video? And also share your thoughts, because somebody can also learn from it. Till next time, my name is Tosin Toluwalojo. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe. Subscribe and turn on the notification button so you can always get notifications when we post a news video. See you next time. I love you. Bye bye.